Hello class, my name is Sherika Allen and the theorist that was assigned to me this week is Albert Bandura. Albert Bandura is known for his social learning theory, in which details that children learn from their environment and through observation. There's three factors that I would like to emphasize is that in the social learning theory, number one factor is that children learn through observation. Number two, through the observation, the children is provided with an intrinsic state, which means an internal reinforcement such as happiness, satisfaction, a sense of accomplishments. And three, simply because the child has observed the behavior does not mean that the behavior has been learned. It just shows that the ability of the child to learn new information. Basically, the child sees the environment, models the behavior through the modelers, which is society or the environment that the child is currently in, and also through modeling they see the positive or the negative reinforcements. If the child sees that if I continue to say yes ma'am and no ma'am that I would get a piece of candy, then they will continue to perform that behavior. If a child sees that there's negative reinforcement, if I do not say yes ma'am or no ma'am, then I'm put in the corner. So through modeling the environment and conditioning the child's ability to learn acceptable or positive behaviors in society can also give that child an opportunity to learn. The article that I chose to research is Convincing Students That They Can Learn, which is very important in my field and in my line, because being an educator, we have many learners. We have a lot of students that have a low ability to read. And this is Crafting Self-Efficacy Prompts by Patrick McCabe. In this article, Mr. McCabe speaks very highly of Albert Bandura, which he produces a system which allows children the ability to learn through positive reinforcements by their teachers. In this, I would like to add that he believed that a lot of our low success rates in readers is because of their ability not to accept ownership for their success. The child will have to understand and feel like I've done this, basically, versus my teacher's being nice and that is what she's supposed to say. In this article, he contributes to the success of personal effort was not effective as it became developing and maintaining motivation. And what that means is the ability to motivate your readers, the ability to provide them with opportunities to be successful rather than failure. The child would hone in into that personal accomplishment and would feel good about him or herself and what they've completed, and will also challenge them to continue reading at a higher level rate. Teachers' verbal feedback prompts that convince students that their ability to succeed in this task. Now, in this article, Mr. McCabe speaks of 4 different techniques that was initiated by Albert. And in these techniques, they're categorized as enactive mastery, vicarious experience, verbal persuasion, and physiological affective state. And what this means, class, is that enactive mastery means that that child was able to accomplish the reading task. 2, vicarious experience, meaning that I am seeing that my other peers are succeeding in reading. I can do it as well. That means you're taking personal motivation through the environment that you're in, and you are owning it, that you believe in yourself, that you can do it. Albert speaks very highly in this article with motivation, intrinsic motivation versus extrinsic motivation, because he believes if a child is motivated to learn, if a child is motivated to read through its environment, through the reinforcements passed by the teacher, then that child will succeed. According to Bandura, there are 4 sources through which an individual can acquire information about his or her competency. And that means that we as teachers are trying to increase the child's self-efficacy of himself or herself, meaning that the ability to believe in himself, the ability that I can do this too. In this enactive mastery, it means that we give certain prompts as teachers. Prompt 1 is, you were able to do this. You got this. You know this, but be very careful when you're given prompt 1, is because we're trying to implement that to that child, that whatever we're saying is credible and that we are not giving them false hope, because a child can distinguish between the two. Also, vicarious experiences, meaning that the student sees other children are succeeding. So therefore, if Robert can read 5 words per minute, I can read 5 words per minute because my teacher has told me that I could. And not only that has she told me, she has showed me that I could. That is a total difference. And in this, McCabe uses Bandura's technique when he says, the teacher says to Robert, watch me as I, the child. You can also do this just as Robert did. You're comparing success versus, hey, it's obtainable. I am able to achieve what Robert has achieved. And also at the same time, you're trying to build that child's self-confidence in his work. McCabe cautious when we use this technique is that the teacher credibility is very important. The teacher does not create an environment where the child's belief in himself or the task is difficult and the child is not able to achieve the task, and at the same time the task can be too easy and the child does not believe that, hey, I did it, because out of luck. The research suggests that children who believe in success or were successful in the task that has low efficacy contributes it to luck. But children who have high efficacy learns that I did this because of my effort and my personal ability to work hard for what I wanted to achieve. Also, the setting, which means parents, the environment, is also factors that can help build a child's self-efficacy, the ability that they can be success and the ability to learn. And the importance that I would like to, that I took out of this is, as a teacher, we sometimes give a task that is too difficult for that child because we want to challenge that child. But in this article, it teaches us that we should build upon that child's developmental level. And then once we build upon that child's developmental level and that child begins to believe in himself, then he or she will be successful in other challenges. And it states here that the teachers of young children should take care to ensure that their students are given tasks on which they can succeed in order to avoid starting a young child on a self-defeating path. So the self-efficacy is very important during younger children, during a younger age of children, because they're developing, they're being molded, modeled through their environment, through parents, through their expectations, through their peers. So once we get this young child and we begin to teach this child how to believe in himself and to give this child intrinsic motivation that, hey, a sense of accomplishment, and then we model this through how we teach the child, then as the child matures, he or she will be successful in their accomplishments. Class, I do hope that this was very informational for you. Also, I will be providing a list or where you can also research what I've basically presented to you, and it's called Convincing Students That They Can Learn to Read, Crafting Self-Efficacy Prompts by Patrick McCabe, based upon Albert Bandura's social learning theory, that children can learn through consistent interaction with their environment. And through that environment, they learn how to model appropriate and not inappropriate behaviors. So thank you, class, for your time.